I'd like to welcome you to Stadium Medical Emergency Vehicle Operators course. The mission statement provides Stadium Medical employees with the skills and knowledge necessary to create professionalism and safety in the emergency vehicle operations. For the next little bit, you're going to be talking about the Emergency Vehicle Operator course. We're going to go over objectives, performance standards, critical points, legal responsibilities, and accident effects. We're also going to cover the Prime Directive, vehicle checkout and reporting, Stadium Medical driving policies and procedures, tool for defensive driving, and terminology. Now it's going.
Okay, you know and understand the Stadium Medical driving policy and procedure. Describe the mental and physical aspect of the driving, like how to be awake and not drinking and do the cocaine. And then you explain the vehicle dynamics, like when you hit the bump and it goes bang.
Objectives: utilization of defensive driving skills, demonstrate proper cornering techniques, demonstrate proper hand and foot movements and coordination. We need to understand hydroplaning and understand that it can occur at speeds as low as 30 miles an hour. Use correct body positioning in the vehicle. Perform a safety check on the vehicle. Further objectives are to demonstrate proper backing techniques, demonstrate proper hand signals for backing. For successful completion of this course, you must score at least 80% on the written evaluation. If you fail the written evaluation, you have one retake on the same day, and you must score at least a 90%. Successful completion of road course meets or exceeds performance standards for each component. Failure on road course, repeat entire road course. Maximum of 6 students per instructor, minimum of 2 instructors. Max of 4 students per ambulance. Must complete the online training in 4 hours on the road course. Disregard of safety rules will result in dismissal. All driving activities are scored on 1, fail to meet standards, 2, meet standards, 3, exceed standards. Must have passing score of 2 or better on each component. Performance standards: personal driving safety. Meets the standards, you must comply with Stadium Medical driving policy for vehicle operation. Be familiar with these policies and recognize any failure to comply with them. Compliance failures are minimal and do not increase the risk of mishap when they occur. Operate vehicle in a courteous and safe manner with due regard for others. Personal impact of your behavior: injury or death, protection of safety and life, jeopardize career enhancement, loss of income, family and significant others, reduce stress, fear, risk, loss of liberty, imprisonment. Develop a personal, professional attitude. Due regard equals do no harm. What are my priorities? To protect myself, number 1. To protect my coworkers, number 2. To protect the patient, number 3. And to protect the community at large, number 4. Critical points: risk versus benefit analysis. In keeping with your priorities, what risk does the execution of a driving maneuver pose? Do the risks outweigh the benefits? Due regard: liability, criminal, civil. Liability may include one or the other or both. Some other things to think about: contributory negligence, civil liability, 3-year statutes of limitations from the date of the accident, and wrongful death. Under Colorado law, no cap with wrongful death as a result of an MVA. This includes punitive damages, workers' comp, decreased premium, downtime of vehicle replacement. In the event of an accident, notify communications immediately. State your location, number of vehicles, and injuries. Request on-call supervisors, law enforcement response, additional EMS. Evaluate the scene for hazards. Treat injured in accordance with your level of training. Locate and secure witnesses. Update communications, number of injured, severity, hazards, rescue needs. Request the supervisor's ETA. Do not make statements to other parties regarding the incident, except law enforcement and stadium medical representatives. For attitude and demeanor, you function as a team member. Attitude, you assist with efficient call operation. You display self-confidence. You accept constructive criticism and use it as a tool to improve performance and further learning. Our prime directive, or goal, provides safe, smooth, effective driving for all crew members and passengers under any circumstances and conditions. Arrive alive. No emergency exists that is worth the trade in lives. Your attitude plays an important part of emergency vehicle driving. Having the attitude of "it will never happen to me" just doesn't cut it. Overconfidence, impatient, impulsive, invulnerability, false concepts, anti-authority, those all have to be left at the door. Prime directive, focus, concentrate on the task at hand, whether that be a code 2 or code 3 run, or post to post, or your end of shift syndrome where you're tired and you want to go home but you've got another call. When driving, you need to release your emotions, eliminate them. Hostility, euphoria, depression, anxiety, they all need to go. Show pride in what you do. No alcohol 8 hours prior to your shift. Learn from every call. Operations and clinically. Perform daily checks on the vehicle. Accomplish a mission. Every shift, do a vehicle checkout. Make sure the fuel level is at 3/4. Motor oil levels, transmission levels, radiator levels, brake reservoir, power steering, Ford Motor Company lighting, emergency lighting, rims and tires, washed, glass, mirrors, radio, speakers, mics, internal cab and patient areas are all clean. Remember, due regard, do no harm, no alcohol, emergency operations, intersections, lane usage, backing, inclement weather. We're going to discuss all of this. Think of due regard in this way. Is it worth your life? If you have to go to court over this, this is what's going to happen. A reasonable, careful person who performs similar duties, i.e. driving an ambulance, and under similar circumstance, would act in the same manner. Due regard is practiced by exercising the privileges of emergency vehicle driving in such a way that other drivers are not placed at significant risk by such actions. Any employee who drives a company vehicle performing company business while under the influence of drugs and/or alcohol will be disciplined. Under Colorado state law, when driving emergent, all lights must be in use, the siren must be in use. Change your siren sound 150 feet from the intersection. You can use your air horn using it 150 feet from the intersection. No four-way flashers, floodlights, or PA system. Company policies say that our speed limit does not exceed 15 miles per hour over posted speed limit. Conditions of road and weather dictate speed, and use due regard. Through a school zone, speed limit as posted, no exceptions. Complete stop and remain stopped when buses using red flashers and stop sign. Proceed with due regard when clear. Complete stop required at all the following: stop signs, red lights, controlled intersections. Continuing, complete stop required at the following: railroad crossings with limited visibility, uncontrolled intersections with limited visibility, turning right or left from any lane. Intersection policies: 4-second following distance. Use the 4 seconds when entering and occupying the intersection. Remember, the first 3 seconds of any green light are the most dangerous. 4 seconds will create a safety margin and increase visibility to observe other motorists and pedestrians. Utilize when at a complete stop and speeds as low as 3 to 10 miles per hour. When approaching a controlled or uncontrolled intersection, take your foot off the accelerator and cover the brake. Change siren to a different sound. Come to a complete stop prior to entering the crosswalk and at every lane where visibility in any way is obstructed. Practice due regard. Be aware of potential hazards such as ice, gravel, snow, pedestrians. At intersections, make eye contact with other drivers. Proceed only after clearing and controlling each lane of the intersection. Clear left and right and left lanes. When approaching an intersection facing a green light, activate the yelp 150 feet prior to the intersection. Take foot off the accelerator and cover the brake. Change siren to a different sound. Ensure cross traffic is stopped and remains stopped. Speed through the intersection shall not exceed the posted speed limit. Lane usage. Emergent, utilize left lane, same direction of travel. Exception, one-way traffic. Vehicles should utilize center lane to provide space for other motorists to yield. Upon entering a street or roadway, merge to the left lane as soon as possible. Utilizing medians, emergency pullovers in an emergent mode, maximum speed limit 15 miles per hour. Exercise due regard. If you cannot pass a vehicle or you're stuck at an intersection, shut down until safe to do so. Backing procedures. Avoid backing as much as possible. Attempt to establish drive-through parking. Only stadium medical employees should back an ambulance. Non-stadium medical spotters are okay. Backing procedures continued. The crew shall do nothing that prevents the activation of any vehicle backing alarm or other warning devices. When using a spotter, the speed at which the vehicle is backed shall not exceed that of normal walking speed. Backing procedures continued. Spotter's responsibility. Survey both sides of vehicle, rear and overhead, for potential hazards. Place yourself 8 to 10 feet behind either side of the vehicle so that the operator can see you, and maintain verbal and visual communications. The spotter is equally liable for any damage if they are out of position. Backing procedures continued. Spotter in appropriate position. Operator secure brake. Visual and verbal contact with spotter and operator. Use visual commands. Engage backup alarm. Back up to the designated area and direction. When completely stopped, place the vehicle in park. Apply the park brake. Backing procedures continued. It is the responsibility of the stadium medical crew to anticipate potential situations which may lead to a backing accident. By assuming this responsibility, the crew ensures the safety of all concerned. 99% of all backing accidents are preventable. Inclement adverse driving conditions, hydroplaning, snow, ice, black ice, gravel on the road, low-level flooding, four-wheel drive. One way to check to see if you might have black ice is feel the back sides of your mirrors. If they have ice on them, your road is icing up. Inclement adverse driving conditions, the most experienced driver will operate the vehicle when applicable. Speeds must be adjusted to weather and road conditions to ensure the safe and controlled operation of the vehicle at all times. Lights and sirens are for clearance only. Increase following distance. Anticipate potential hazards and exercise due regard. Diesel starting procedures. Turn the key to run position. Wait until the wait to start light goes off. Turn the key to start while depressing the accelerator as follows. Halfway for temperatures above 32, fully for temperatures below 32. If the vehicle does not start, begin in the off position. In extreme cold weather, you may have to cycle 3 to 4 times to engage the starter. Simply saying, turn it to where the light goes on, turn when it goes off, back to off, turn it till the light goes off, back to the off position. Do that 3 times or 4 times, and then try to start it. If unable to start, contact communications or supervisor. Vehicles with overdrive transmission. After every engine start, turn on the overdrive indicator light. then depress the brake and shift into gear. At sustained highway speeds, turn off the overdrive indicator light. Do not shift the transmission manually. Remember, our vehicles are tall. The minimum vehicle clearance is 9 foot. And check the volt gauge between 12 and 14. If not, contact operations. Shut off batteries every time you shut off the vehicle, and make sure you have a backer. Tools for defensive driving: knowledge, alertness, vision, judgment, and skill. Knowledge breaks out this way: rules of the road, proper passing, right-of-way, speed limits, and routing. Know your limitations, you as the driver, what your vehicle or ambulance can do, what the environment is going to be like, and whether you're urban or rural. Along with knowledge comes alertness, fully aware of what's happening around you, alert to potential hazards, aware of changing weather and driving conditions, attentive to what you're doing. Along with knowledge and alertness comes vision. Aim high by raising your field of vision. Look a block away if you're in the city and up to a quarter of a mile away if you're out in the country. Utilize and adjust your mirrors. Keep your eyes moving. Increased speed leads to decreased acuity, decreased peripheral vision, and poor depth perception. Judgment. Operator must always know what to do in any situation. Operator must know when to do certain maneuvers. Practice the 4-second rule. Skill. Know how to handle the vehicle types, weight, kinetics, vehicle dimensions. Road course safety rules. Only back when directed and have a spotter. Put the vehicle in motion only when directed to do so. Remain in staging area until the start box is empty. Then enter start box and wait for preceding vehicle to clear the transition area before starting. Always maintain 1 vehicle length separation between vehicles in the staging area. Never back up in the staging area. Speed limit 15 miles per hour in the transition areas. Always wear seat belt while the vehicle is moving, and instructors have the final say. Just for trivia, line width requirements: highway and primary roads 14 feet. Secondary roads 12 feet. Old primary and secondary roads are at 10 feet. County unpaved roads, minimum of 8 feet. This comes from the Department of Transportation and the Division or Department of Civil Engineering. Staging area objectives. This is the area of a safe zone. Absolutely no backing in this area. This area is used for instruction and teaching. Crew and ambulance changes will be done in this area only. Slalom, we're looking for smoothness. Use of peripheral vision, understanding vehicle dynamics, practice steering, i.e. arm lock, timing, and maintenance of consistent rate of speed. Vehicle dynamics, weight transfer, smoothness, braking, steering, timing, and correct response, and maintaining control of the vehicle. Single forces are placed on the vehicle, braking, then steering, and the correction of those independent actions. Complex dynamics objective: vehicle dynamics, weight transfer, smoothness, braking, steering, timing, and correct responses, and maintaining control of the vehicle while multiple forces are placed on the vehicle, such as braking and steering together, and the correction of those combined actions. The objectives of accident avoidance: decision making, use of peripheral vision, smoothness, vehicle dynamics, timing, correct response, braking and steering, awareness of potential hazards, lane usage, and control of intersections. The objectives for intersections: vehicle dynamics, braking, use of peripheral vision, complete stop, steering, lane usage, clearing intersections, acceleration, speed, and application of the 4-second rule. Intersection awareness, potential and real hazards, making right and left-hand turns through intersections, continuing forward through the intersection. Backing and parking objectives: utilization and communication with spotter located in the patient care area of the ambulance, utilization of mirrors, vehicle dynamics, potential hazards. This section will simulation several healthcare facilities entrance and patient load areas. Attendant will serve as spotter. Backing objectives, communication with both visual and verbal with spotter located outside of in the appropriate area. Utilization of mirrors, peripheral vision, vehicle dynamics, smoothness, directional awareness. Spotter will utilize and practice hand signals and communication skills. Visual inspection and awareness of potential hazards. Hand signals, come ahead, used in both forward and reverse. Extend arms in front of your body, palms facing up. Move arms towards your body, bending at the elbows. For the hand signal, slow down, reduce speed forward and reverse. Turn palms facing downward with thumbs towards your body at waist level. Move hands up and down. To increase speed, both forward and reverse, turn palms facing upward, move hands up and down. To stop or halt, all motion forward and reverse, complete stop. Extend both arms, palms facing outward. Or you can use cross at the wrist at the chest level. Left turn forward and reverse, facing the vehicle, raise both arms, bending at the elbow. Move the arms across the body in a left hand motion. For the right hand turn forward and reverse, facing the vehicle, raise both arms, bending at the elbow. Move the arms across the body in a right hand motion. Turn off the engine, place the right hand at the level of the neck with your elbow to your side and palm facing downward. Move hands from right to left. Attention, extend arms above your head, cross and uncross your hands at the wrist. May you be used also to bring the vehicle to a complete stop. Evoc definitions: threshold braking, a squeezing action on the brake just short of lockup, the most effective form of braking. Imagine placing a tube of toothpaste on the brake pedal. When you apply the brake, you want to squeeze that toothpaste out onto the floor and not splatter it all over the sidewall of the vehicle. Understeer, front tires lose adhesion, resulting in lack of steering input. Complete stop, when the wheel is no longer rotating and the vehicle is no longer in motion in any direction. Constant radius turning the steering wheel at the constant or consistent rate or pace. Correction, the return to balance, not creating a bigger problem because of panic response. Dynamics is the transfer of weight in a vehicle as a result of turning, accelerating, braking, or a combination of the three. Complex dynamics is a result of accelerating, braking, and turning at the same time. Feedback, the return of the steering input to the opposite direction. Emergency, response in which there is a situation in which there is a high probability of death or serious injury or illness to a person, and actions by emergency personnel may reduce the seriousness of the situation. In other words, these responses are for situations in which there is a threat for loss of life or serious injury. Emergency warning devices must be utilized to alert other vehicles of your presence and not to demand the right-of-way. Always remember the 4-second following distance. The distance traveled in 4 seconds of time when the vehicle operator travels behind another vehicle. The distance changes with speed. Non-emergency driving, an ambulance without emergency warning devices, and observe in all traffic regulations. Handling. A vehicle's ability to quickly and accurately respond to a driver's command with minimum impact upon the ability to maintain control of the steering wheel. Limitations. One of the primary objectives of skill training is to learn the limitations of gravity, adhesion, centrifugal force, and kinetic energy. Low adhesion surface. Any road surface which limits adhesion, i.e. snow, ice, rain, gravel, sand. Off-road, the operation of a vehicle off any recognized road. Recognized roads include, but are not limited to, asphalt, cement, gravel, sand, and four-wheel drive trails. Patient transport vehicle. Any company vehicle that may be used for the transport of a patient. Smoothness, the result of being connected to the car, moving the vehicle in a manner resulting in the least dynamic change possible. Spotter, an employee of Stadium Medical who stands behind and alongside a patient transport vehicle and communicates instructions to the vehicle operator on how to safely back the patient transport vehicle. Arm lock, a turn of steering wheel where the arms touching at the elbows. Brake lock, brakes applied with force to cause the wheels to stop turning, therefore resulting in loss of steering control. Cohesion adhesion, the sticking power between two surfaces. The tire's contact patch is the connection to the road surface. Hand-to-hand feed. When additional steering input is needed, the steering wheel is fed from one hand to the other so that there is always control of the steering wheel. Both hands remain on the steering wheel. Neutral steering wheel position, when the hands are in the general 9 and 3 o'clock position as the points forward. Thank you for taking the Stadium Medical Emergency Vehicle Operators course. If you have any questions, be sure to ask the instructors on the road course, and you have a great day.